Hello everyone, welcome to our Let's Play series of Torment, Tides of Numenera. This is Colonel RPG as usual, and I'm very happy that it chose to join me today in a place that, I'm not really sure what it's gonna get us, but we're trying to get a, well, information. We didn't talk to these guys, did we? I don't think so. Yeah, we're trying to get a key from them. But before I do that, I'm gonna try and get an understanding of what this actually is. Last episode I said I couldn't click on this, and this is actually something that I wouldn't want to click on. And look at it! Just look at that. What is even that? I can tell you. But indeed over here we have more of these, so let's see what those are. These lights, bending and refracting in upon themselves, must have been brought to honor someone important. The names have been worn away by time, however. Okay, what about this thing over here? A shimmering field obscures this pedestal. It seems to be emanating from a small device within the field. That must be the whisper lock. Also inside is a configuration of buttons surrounding a central dial, but with the whisper lock engaged, there is no way to reach them. Okay, so I need to yeah, but basically that's the whisper lock I need to disable. Let's try and go for memorialist. Nothing happens. Ronus Kaisul, Inefir, Kiwitawa, interesting. Choi, and Namya, or Naima. Okay, so we really need to disable the whisper lock, which is the thing I was talking about before. So we have a clue. We have a clue for this, and it is to make sure that they think it is in, my interest to give me for them to give me their things. I think that's how it is. This short, red-haired man has vivid green eyes that emanate a mix of sadness, lost dreams, and hope. The stranger sizes you up, and for a second you feel true interest in your persona. But then he looks away, lost in his thoughts. A moment later, he turns back and smiles. This smile is like his eyes, full of shards of emotions. Caution, cynicism, fear, and friendliness. His arms are tied, and looks like he's been beaten up pretty badly. I'm Utwag, by the way. Utwaglos, and leader of these sad sacks. Wish we could meet under better circumstances. How did you get here? Let me tell you, he says. We left the oasis some weeks ago, tracking a tale of deceit in fabled Numenera. We were hired to find something called a world string, a tiny contraption that can spin a web so fine it's all but invisible, but so strong it can slice the world in two if someone had the means and the mind for it. No idea if it actually exists, but that's how this all started. Well, there we were, out in the Verxulian wastes, when we happened across a broken hound, the size of a griffalo. Something had irritated it, and we decided to seek shelter and wait for nightfall, to see if it might not range a little further from the route we wanted to take. I was looking for just such a place when something slammed into me and knocked me down into this valley. It was Narve trying to kill me again, he thinks. I don't blame him, though. It's all for the best. Narve? I don't know who this Narve is. Could it be one of those guys? Narve and Jenkins followed, of course, and we ran into these fine memorialists in a bit of trouble. Now I'm never one to turn down a challenge or people in need. It's almost a curse, you might say. So, of course, we agreed to help them lock their necropolis. After that, well, you can see what happened after that. Okay, so you're not actually a memorialist. Narve and Jenkins followed. I don't think they are a memorialist. There's dead guys over here, and I think he's talking about the guys... This one is a memorialist, right? And that could be Narve over there, and Jenkins? Let's check that out. Farewell. Over here, we have Tarila, Jenkins over there, and Narve. Okay, and we have this thing over here, and... yeah, so this is the memorialist. We looked through its pockets already, and we got a key. And actually, I wrote it down, or not a key, a sequence. 4135, and I have the other one, but I don't remember. I have it in a journal. Actually, let me check. Find the first Gastoff's tomb. I have it over here. No, actually, it's not the journal. It's a little note that I have. This one, yeah. Okay, so let's continue having a chat here with Utwag. So, can you tell me about yourself? He straightens, though it's clear the effort pains him. I'm an explorer and do-gooder, self-proclaimed. For some reason, he smirks at the stout men next to him when he says this. I've been all over the world, had every occupation and hardship you could imagine. Why, I even had my luck stolen from me. And do you know what I learned in all that? You can do anything if you work for it. Anything. Who are your companions? He tilts his head towards the rat-like man near him. That's Narve, the Blessed. Meanest bastard this world has seen, except that he keeps messing it up somehow. No, that's the brush you're painting me with? Bah. He scowls and turns away. He gestures, Utwag gestures with his head to the earnest-looking man with a smile. And that's Jenkins, the jinxed. Always around to help, especially when you don't need it. Did you say you don't need help, boss? Asks Jenkins. No, friend. Or at least there's nothing you don't already know about. Do you know the passcode for the Whisper Lock? I'm afraid I don't. Talira, there, didn't tell us. He leans closer. Just between you and me, I'm glad we don't know it. One of us would have given it up for sure by now. Okay. Well, let's have a chat with these guys then before we talk to Tarila. Because that's the lady that, well, I suppose lady, sounds like a lady's name. The lady that we need to talk to get the code. This stout fellow has a cruel scowl and beady eyes. That's Narve. He is unkempt and dressed in clothes that don't quite fit. In a low, gruff voice, he seems to be muttering to himself about some plot or other going wrong. His hands are bound and constantly working at the cords, as if they have a life of their own. Name's Narve. Narve the Blessed, if you can believe that. Which I can't. Really, can you tell me about yourself? I'm an explorer and a villain. The worst villain you'll ever meet. And by that I mean that no matter what I try to pull, it somehow ends up helping people. Blessed indeed. So how did you get here? He leans forward and talks to you in low tones. Well, it was all Utwag's fault. Goddamn do-gooder can't help himself. We're on a quest, he calls it, or for this fabled string or whatever. I figured it's my chance to off him once and for all. We came across this enormous broken hound, so I tossed a few rocks at it, and to get its attention, well, Utwag wouldn't find it or run. No, he calmed it down and left it alone. So I tried a second time, shoving Utwag down a mountainside when he got too close. As luck would have it, I lost my balance and fell down with him. Of course, idiot Jenkins follows us to help. He puffs out a blast of air. Oh, that's how we got to this valley. When these memorialists asked for our help, we all saw an opportunity. Jenkins to help, Utwag to grow on his path or whatever, and me to finally do Utwag in. Why do you want him dead, though? Can I ask you that? He shakes his head sadly. Then those cultists caught us before I could try anything. I tell you, nothing ever goes my way. So who are your companions? The red-headed fellow? He's Utwag Loss. In a hushed tone, he adds, I've been trying to kill him for about 12 years now. Man, he's really bad at this. He leans back and indicates the smooth-faced man. And the young pup there is Jenkins, the jinxed. He'll want to help you, don't let him. Because... Oh, I see. So maybe I want to insult this guy and hopefully he's gonna try to kill me. And the other guy the other way around, I suppose. Or, no, wait a minute. So if he tries to kill me, good things happen to him. If that guy tries to help me, bad things happen to me. So, yeah. So, do you know the passcode? For the Whisper Lock, I mean. He sputters in laughter. Do you think I'd still be sitting here if I did? Let them have the damn necropolis. Keep them out ain't worth all of this. Or keeping them out isn't worth all of this. Okay, thank you very much. What about you, Jenkins? Hello. This young man smiles up at you shyly, his left eye sealed shut by a combination of grime and blood. The rest of his body hasn't fared much better, and the cords around his wrists and ankles have rubbed his flesh raw. He sees you staring and shaking, and shakes his head, so hair falls over his ruined eye. Can I help you? He asks politely. You're bound and bruised, and you ask if I need help? Huh. He looks at the cords that bind him, testing them experimentally. I mean, I know you're probably right, but couldn't you need help anyway? He looks up at you, hopefully. Well, maybe just a little bit of help? No, not at the moment, thanks. I see, he nods wisely. Well, if you ever need a helping hand, a helping pair of bound hands, I'll be right here. He beams up at you, apparently unaffected by his own words. Just so you know. I think you and I are going to get along splendidly, Erides says. He would have made a splendid hero. Perhaps he already is. Jenkins seems momentarily taken aback and ducks his head shyly. You're the first person ever to say that to me, he says, sniffing and wiping at his eyes. Erides leans down and clasps him on the shoulder, and the two of them bask silently in mutual affection. Do you guys need a room or something? So who are you, Jenkins? I'm Jenkins. Jenkins the Jinxed. He wrinkles his nose. It wasn't my first choice of name, believe me, but I didn't really mind it anymore. It's kind of apt. He looks you over, then shuffles forward a little bit, leaning closer. You see, I really like to help people, but I have a habit of getting lost, he says, in what he clearly thinks is a whisper. I'll camp down for the night with my party, and by morning, they'll all be gone. He stares up at you in wide-eyed wonderment. It's a terrible curse, really, it is. He kicks at the floor and sighs. Utwag and Narv are the only people I never lost, he says morosely. Not for lack of trying, says Narv. Well, don't worry, Narv. I'll never try to lose you. Well, how did you get here? Well, we came across the wastes, he says pensively. The Verxulian wastes, of course, not the Tempest wastes. Well, then Nare pushed Utwag down a sand rune and he tumbled into this gravestone valley. Almost broke his neck. I'm glad he didn't, though. Still don't know why he pushed him, he thinks. Maybe it was an accident? Well, then, he pauses, searching his memory. We ran into these memorialists who asked for our help. They wanted to lock the necropolis from these cultists. Of course, I said, yes, but, well, we weren't so lucky. But at least we kept them out. Okay, so who are your companions? The red-haired one is Utwag Laws, our leader. He's been all over the world, you know. He's famous. Jenkins gives you a nod, his face serious, as if to impress upon the gravity of the situation. The other fellow is Narv. He tries to hurt people, but it never turns out right. What? Narve's eyes widen and he looks around worriedly. I don't hurt people. No, you don't. He smiles and leans in towards you. I like him, says Jenkins. He thought I hadn't noticed. How stupid does he think I am? He thinks. Well, I'm not really sure, but you don't seem very self-aware. Okay, so we just got to know the... Well, I really didn't figure that those would be just the... I thought they were all memorialists, but yeah. Let's have a chat with Talita Kyo. This middle-aged woman, I was right, sits stoically, her hands bound... What? Her hands bound in front of her legs. Or bound, I suppose, yeah. Her hands bound in front of her legs. The sleeves of her robe have fallen from her wrists, and you catch sight of yellow and purple bruising above the lacerations from her tightly cinched bonds. Streams of tears have carved channels down her dust-covered face. She looks up at you, her eyes the color of the seas around Sagas. 2 more tears slip silently down her cheeks. She turns away from you. He has come to save us, she thinks. To end these pointless deaths? No, probably not. Why are you crying? She shakes her head almost imperceptibly, but says nothing. Who are you? She does not answer. Instead, she turns away, tears dripping from her chin. Do you know the passcode to the Whisper Lock? That. Finally, she looks up at you and speaks, her voice hoarse, as though she has been shouting for days. You are one of them. I will not speak to you nor give you the passcode. Even the clue, she thinks, the name of the Centaur Prince, is too much to give. Goonie? Oh, wait a minute. We had 2 names for the... one of them was Goonie, yeah. We had 2 names for the Centaur Prince. So I know what it is, just by nature of me reading her thoughts. Let's go with this. More people will die if you don't give them the password. But I kind of... No, actually, I kind of wanted to know why she wants to keep them away from there. I'm not one of them. I want to help you. She looks nervously into your eyes. It seems like she wants to believe you. Their leader is in the necropolis, it says over here. If you give me the code, which I have already, because it's Goonie, I'll find a way to help you. She considers you for a long moment. Finally, she nods. You seem a kind and just person. I believe you, but you must promise not to tell them the code. Not for any reason. I can't promise that. Actually, I can. Because my word means nothing. I don't care. So, yeah, I promise. She nods again, then whispers, the code is Goonie. Very well. I knew that already. But, yeah, well, now I made a promise. I thought she was gonna tell me something else. Ah, boy. Anyway, doesn't matter. Let's activate these things and see what we can do here. Because if we can figure out why... Oh, yeah, we can give the passcode. With a sigh, the shimmering field disintegrates into glimmering shards of light. The controls are now accessible.
I'll remember that.
Oh. Oh, they're here. Oh, things. Ha! Motley's surprise is evident, as he's his pleasure. He clasps you on both shoulders. Now we can get back to helping Lord Inifir. But first, to release the prisoners. Motley nods. One of the cultists draws his blade, but instead of cutting their bonds, he puts it to the neck of the first prisoner in line. He intends to kill. For our Lord and the gate. So the gate is the Endless Gate. I'm not really sure what that is. It could be about the Endless War. It kind of sounds like it. The Lord he's talking about is the changing God. Or it could be also one of the cast-offs, if maybe the first cast-off, because this is where she is buried, if I remember correctly, if I'm not mistaken. But first off, it's interesting that I was able to complete the mission without actually telling them the password, but I don't really understand why she didn't want them to know the password. She didn't... It looks like she didn't care if they got in, just that they didn't know the password. So I'm not really sure what that is all about. But let's see what happens. The memorialist looks at you, her eyes pleading. Her whisper is barely audible. You can stop them. You can help. Why are you doing this? He motions the cultists to halt. Confusion blooms on his face. Motley, this is Motley. The spirit is encaged in flesh. We must release it for Lord Inafir. I thought you understood. This is what we do. Yeah, I am more powerful than your Lord Inafir. I command you to leave this necropolis or I will release your spirits. Okay, so let's see if I'm not gonna use effort over here. Well, maybe I should, actually. Let's have Eritis. What's the, yeah, Eritis is better at this. 75%. That's not too good. Got a 100%. Let's go with that. And there it is. They're off, I suppose. Oh, he gives me stuff. He stumbles backward, his grip on the blade loosening. He glances at your tattoo, his face paling even further. Yes, my lord. It will be as you say. He hurries out the corridor. A piece of paper flutters out of his pockets as he goes, but he doesn't notice it in his haste to leave. The paper lands at your feet. You pick it up as his footsteps recede into the valley. What is it? This note was in Motley's pocket. The ink is brown and cracked and might be blood. Okay, this is another note over here. Most of it is legible or illegible, scratched in a hasty scrawl, but you can make out 4 numbers at the bottom. So that's the end. Somehow, I suppose. 5143. Okay. Dismiss. Off they go. So I spared their lives, which I probably shouldn't have, but, well, that was easier. Thank you, stranger. I cannot express my gratitude enough. The memorialists owe you a great debt. And she steps closer, lowering her voice. But though we are safer here now, the true danger still lies beneath. You must stop the children of the Endless Gate. Their gate is within the necropolis itself. Close it, and you may free this valley. I will help you in any way that I can. Can you... Let's go with the most important thing. Have you heard of a girl named Choi? I think she's dead. Possibly interred here. Choi? She cocks her head to one side in thought. I'm afraid I don't. But there are thousands, perhaps millions of names below. Keep asking those who have spent time down there. One of them may have come across the name you seek. So, now that they're gone, is it possible for me to rest here? It is relatively safe, yes. I will keep watch to ensure it. Just let me know whenever you wish to retire. Okay. Can you tell me how the terminal works? Would that I knew. The necropolis is a vast underground complex, so vast that generations of memorialists have yet to exploit it all. The terminal and those those like it in the tombs themselves will take you where you want to go through its magic. All you must do is press the correct key sequence. The ancient memorialists carved numbers into the terminals so that we could more easily record and return any locations we desired. The pedestals in the tombs themselves have additional features. Pressing the central button will return you here, to the surface, while the button surrounding it will take you to an adjacent tomb in either direction. It is through this discovery that we have been able to explore the necropolis in a more orderly fashion. Okay, tell me about yourself. My true name is Talira Kyo. I was buried here long ago to await the coming of the paradise. The paradise? What is this paradise you speak of? She considers you anew, as if determining your worth. My people are the memorialists, those who have discovered that this world is already filled with the dead. Though we walk and talk, we do not leave. Such is the paradox we face. The only escape we have is to remember who we were We have been placed here as a test to see if we as a people are deserving of the good that is our birthright. Together we must rediscover our graves and the true names we held in life. If all could do this, paradise awaits. But should all forget, she stares beyond you, a future only she can see. The world will be cut off from paradise forever. The circle of rebirth will continue without purpose or end. This dismal non-life will be all we ever know. Well, that's certainly original. So how do I find a cultist's gate? I have learned a great deal while held hostage. These children have loose tongues, and all the loser for their insanity. The gate and their lord, Inafir, can be found in tomb 1254. Let me write it down. 1254. So the other numbers were other tombs, I suppose. Go and stop them if you can. Farewell. Farewell, friend and savior. Can I have a chat with these guys now? Utwag, how do you feel about not being beaten to death anymore? Hey, thanks for your help, friend. We might have made it, but I'm glad we didn't have to take that chance. Yeah. Have you heard of a dead girl named Choi? Nah, friend, sorry. But if she's dead, you should ask the memorialist. Supposedly they know all the dead. Yeah. Let's have a chat here with Nerve. They probably don't know, or Narve, I guess. Well, I suppose I should be thankful, so thanks. Utwag's going to blame me for this good turn of events. I know it, he thinks. Yeah, do you know of Choi? Do I look like a memorialist? That's someone else. Okay. What about you, Jenkins? Although this might be bad. Have you heard of a dead girl named Choi? Oh, of course no, I haven't. I really am helpful. I mean, usually. You're lucky we can't help you, Narv says. But more trouble than it's worth, believe me. What? Helping people is never trouble, and it's always worth it. Is it? Is it really? If you screw up their lives by helping them? Well, anyway, different cultures, I guess. Okay, so, this is... Do I want to go there? What is our main quest right now? So, find the first cast-off's tomb. So, it should be here. Let's not be here. Let's go outside. Let's do the things outside. Because... I don't know if things are gonna change when I find the first cast-off tomb. I might have the numbers already, but I have two numbers that were given in dialogue, and I have 2 numbers that are written down. Okay. Oh.
Eris, did you really crash an airship into the cliffs?
No. You see, I skillfully stopped the airship with the ground. Why am I explaining this to you?
Because I asked?
Well, then... You know, for a girl with so many questions, you certainly have an answer for everything.
No, she doesn't. You just don't know how to ask the questions. So let's see what this is all about. It wasn't here before, was it? The floating darkness before you looks a little like the dying minim you saw earlier, only this one is even more closed. It is furled tight like a black and blossomed rose, as if it was looking for something to bring it to life. You have a sudden gag reflex. Something lurches in your chest. Something inside your body is reacting to the minim, trying to get out. Okay, let's examine the tear in space first. The more you look at the minim, the more it seems to you like an unpollinated flower. It is dormant and looking for something to bring it to life. But what? Expel whatever is trying to get out of your body? Let's step closer. What is trying to get out of my body? Oh. As soon as you open your mouth, a sleek black cloud surges out, emptying your lungs of air almost completely. It's the black flecks from the dying minim, but they change somehow inside your body. The cloud floats towards the minim. Where it touches, the minim becomes more diffuse, less a clot and more a cloud, expanding, unfurling, until its dark center is revealed, and within that center, a pulsing red light and a welcoming warmth that carries with it the echoes of sounds you are not hearing around you. Okay. So I took 2 might damage. That's okay. It's fine. Yet the black sludge continues to spew from your lungs. You are unable to control it, retching out more and more, until finally, when it feels as though you're going to pass out, the last of slips past your tongue. The last of it, I suppose, slips past your tongue. You feel weaker, but at least it's out of your body now. Okay, let's try to walk through it. You step into the warm red darkness, and it swallows you, turning you into smoke and sparks. You drift and swirl through a black void, floating toward another patch of flickering red. Then suddenly you are somewhere else. Down here. No reason for that whatsoever. Because why would we want that? Tantalum? Did we talk to Tantalum before? I think we did. It doesn't look as nice as the other ones, though. I mean, as cracky, I guess. Step into the darkness again. And somewhere else we go. Whee! And there we go. In the same instant, just with a bunch of bugs and all sorts of graphical glitches. Hey, Tantalum. Hey, friend. Have you been seeking the secrets of the valley? Well, this had better be worth the trouble, growls Aligern. He smiles gently. Well, I promise enlightenment, friend. Well, I haven't read any tombs yet. Ah, I remember when I was just starting out, too. Bright-eyed, hopeful, you have a lot to look forward to. So... I've asked all the things. Yeah, he's just a trader. I've asked all the things from him. So we have a few things that we need to do. Wait a minute. Actually, what things do we have to do over here? I need to find the endless gate down there. I need the infestation. I need to go to my fathom if I die. When I die. Decipher the Phoenix note. If I can figure it out. Phoenix gave me the note that is troubling him. If I figure out what it means, maybe I can help him. Okay, so he gave me a note, but I don't remember which one that is. Phoenix's note. Oh, this is for a tomb. It's easy. It's what it is. Okay, so it's down there. Yeah, there it is. Severed ask around about Troy. That's good. And the Lost Shepherd, see if Erides has done something to the labyrinth. After finding Herodes' crook, that's, yeah, that's what we did. After finding Herodes' crook in the Valley of the Dead Heroes, I heard Erides' voice inside my head. So, yeah, okay, so we're just coming back down here, or back out here, because I want to go to the other side. Let's walk into the light over here. I want to go... Let's also mess around with this thing, because I think it might hold something for us. I want to go over here, and I want to figure out what these guys are all about, and kill them if I need to. Although at this point, I'm fairly happy with just intimidating them, because...
like everything's going to be alright.
Yeah, it's the inspired Fettle. It's all fine. Ooh, we're also out of time for the day. So, that's going to be that. We're going to continue exploring next episode. For now, I'm Kettle RPG, and this has been Torment, Tides of Numenera. I really hope you've enjoyed it. And if you did, go ahead and leave a comment, like the video, but above all, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I'll see you next episode. Bye-bye.